I have the number. I'm going to call Rob, and he's going to join the conf.
Perfect.
You have the number?
Here we go.
That sounds good.
Yeah. I'm up and dancing.
I hope it's ballroom dancing you're doing.
Yeah.
Long time ago, I had those dancing lessons. What is this, Baroque music or something? France in the 1700s, something.
Thank you very much for calling. Please continue to hold, and we will be with you shortly.
Okay. Now we have to talk a little bit faster, but I think we can still meet our goal to finish not later than on top of the hour. Welcome to our first EMEA focus group call for this year. I hope you guys did all start the year in good mood, and business and privately you're all well and prepared for another exciting year. Today, basically, we have two topics on the agenda. Number one is Paul will present to you the TSANet 2016 goals, so you know what TSANet is planning to do, and you can give up your comments. Maybe you have other good ideas or recommendations how to implement stuff, or maybe you're going to be a front runner in picking up some of the new stuff and implementing it first. And the second topic is the upcoming workshop in March. And Alex and myself, we have prepared some information to you, what we think could be an agenda, but this is a proposal to you, and we will show it to you and hopefully get your input and have a good discussion. So Paul, would you take it over?
Great, and you guys can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so I just got a few slides here. This first one just gives a little bit of background, and I'm not going to walk you through all of this, but it just gives you a little bit of context on where we've focused and spent money in the last 3 years, right? So 2013, it was all around marketing and really tuning up all the website, social media, all of those types of things that polished up the marketing aspect. And then really the last 2 years have been focused on the offering. So new website, case exchange, all the things around custom groups. So really trying to get the offering that we give to members up to speed. So that's really kind of just give you a sense of where the focus areas have been. And obviously, you know, there's still a little bit of work in each of the other areas, but we tend to, you know, try each year to say, okay, here's really the area that we need to apply more focus to. And marketing and offering was kind of the last 3 years. So then moving into 2016. So 2016, you know, we had the strategy meeting, we spent time with the board, all of that, and really kind of looking at the context and where we felt we left 2015. The view is that 2016 is really the year of focusing on the existing membership. So that doesn't mean we're not going to try to attract new members. You know, we're still going to maintain the marketing stuff. We're still going to improve the offering. We're still going to do some things on the operations side. But this year, it's really an intense focus on the existing membership. And really, the theme is to help members get the most value from TSANet. And you can see maybe a couple of the changes is this year we plan to have 2 releases. Previous years it was 3 releases. Marketing, again, a lot of the emphasis is going to be on not changing all the marketing and all that type of stuff, but really doing things that we think will help existing members. So things like case studies, maybe some refresh of the brochures to help them, kind of internally communicate within their groups. And then on the operations side, again, we plan to tune up our operations again to help focus on the members, and part of that is this emphasis on personalized communications, and you'll start to see some things along those lines as well. So 2016, the year of membership is really kind of what the focus area is. Okay, so here's our goals. In this year as well, it's probably the first year we kind of communicated the goals to the membership, and these then go in our MBOs and all the scorecards and things like that. But the first one here is increasing the usage of the member web by 10%. So this is, obviously directly linked to the usage, right? So our members using the service, what do we need to do to improve that? And that might be some functionality improvements and maybe some communication improvements, but again, what this is trying to do is really look at the end goal. Case exchange, we still want to push that, and we have a target to get that up to 30 members using case exchange. The channel is extremely important this year, and the emphasis there is to get that up to a minimum of 20 members. We're certainly hoping for more than that, but that's the minimum hit there. And then for the open group, so basic and premium, the goal is to get that up to 118. And again, we hope maybe we can get up higher than that, but that's the goal. Again, that's for the open group. So total membership, Dennis, I forget. I think we're getting back up close to 500 again. So the limited members and custom groups have really, gotten us quite a few new members here last year.
Yeah, very close, and now it looks like we're going to stay over 100 open group members for the year as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so these are the goals. Then if we take a look at each of the three areas of the offering, or where we're kind of doing the development stuff, the member web is the first one. And again, you'll see this emphasis not on, well, let's add a ton of new features on the member web. I think that the view from both the board and also talking to our existing members are, we have the functionality that we need. What we need to do is tune it up and kind of improve it and make it really be, for what its intended purposes is, be the very best experience we can have. And the first area is a simplified collaboration. In fact, there's some things here that you're going to see in the spring release that will really improve collaborating with members that have a lot of different departments and region setups and things where you see a lot of different relationships when you drill into them as a company. So this will introduce this concept of a routing wizard that will take you directly to the exact contact document you need. So I think this will help, collaborating with the Microsofts and those folks. And then really focusing on improving existing features. So this is where we've got surveys going out to the members this year as well for the face-to-face strategy days, and where myself and Dennis are going out. We're actually taking an extra day to spend with the engineers and the tech support centers to really watch how they work, understand how they use TSANet, and really try to get some insight on what we can do to improve and refine the member web to work better for them. So that's kind of where you see this, improve existing features. So that's kind of the theme for the member web. For case exchange, a lot of focus around deploying. So again, we're kind of continuing with that. We think we got a decent solution. It works. We haven't seen any issues there on, I implemented this and it doesn't work as we thought, or we're missing, if you build this feature, that feature, we'll use it. So it's a lot of it's around, to be honest with you, and I think this ties into the member web, the frequency of usage, right? So really getting that up to the point where TSANet's used more, engineers are embracing it more. I think case exchange will stand a better chance if we get some momentum there. But a few things that we're going to improve. So probably the biggest one is a Salesforce connector. We'll get a respin this year to support the new Lightning interface for Salesforce. So if you're on Salesforce, you've probably heard of that. It's a major change for Salesforce, and we need to adapt to that. And then we are exploring some new connectors, and I would call that really kind of business development and trying to understand how we can do that with without major investments. And actually, we've got a current thing happening now with Zendesk to try to understand how we could accomplish a connector for them. Okay, so that's case exchange, and then the last one here is the channel plans. And if I look at 2015 versus 2016, 2015 we spent a lot of energy in the channel around what I would kind of term the marketing area. So some marketing assets, awareness. We went to a couple of events, had a lot of email marketing campaigns, things like that, to really try to get the channel to be aware that TSANet exists, and now TSANet is for the channel as well. It's not just a vendor solution. This year, you'll see the shift, and again, this I think kind of aligns with the quote-unquote kind of year of membership, is really refining our focus to work with existing members to bring their channel support groups on board. And we've got a couple of members already that we've been having that conversation with. And that doesn't mean, again, we won't stop the marketing stuff and all that. They'll continue to go, but we feel that, more emphasis should be placed on existing members and bringing them on board. So that's kind of the redirection of the channel piece as well. Okay, and that's kind of it. So maybe I'll pause here, see if there's any questions or things that maybe you expected on there but didn't see.
I do have one quick comment, Paul, just so that everybody understands and I think this has been a change since the last EMEA focus group call, but one is that Kieran Collins, who I think has attended some of these or attended some sessions, is now the representative for EMC on the TSANet board. And so we're back to having a representative from Europe on the board. And the other thing I can tell you is that I know that the board appreciates the feedback and has a lot of respect for what the focus group is doing in EMEA, and kind of, it is the method of which we're gaining, do we need to do this in Europe and that in Europe? So that function as well that you guys are doing.
Yeah. By the way, Kieran was present at the last workshop in Den Haag in October.
Okay.
Okay, so he came to that event, and I think he was pretty pleased with that, what we have discussed, and also with the engagement as well as the competence that was in the room, and we had a very interactive discussions with him. And I think it was also a good start with him, because this were the first few days when he was a board member. So I think it was also worthwhile for him to meet the team and to hear and listen and speak to all members of the team. Okay, good. But it's good to hear that the board is recognizing the team, and tell the team, please, if you see those things Paul have just presented to you, make your comments. Is this also what you would like to see from TSANet? Do you have additional ideas? Would you like to help us in reaching some of the goals? Because especially, case exchange, you could really help us in getting on board, trying it out, and using it.
Yeah, I agree. I would say case exchange and then also the channel. So, I think both of those areas, next to impossible for us to kind of really push those as just pure staff. We do need to get members pretty actively involved, I think, to get those things to take off.
Yep. And I mean, almost all providers they are using the channel. They have channel partners, and I think it would be a good introduction if one of the members goes out to their channel partners and tells them that they are members of TSANet, and it would be a good thing if they also joined. So
I agree, and I mean, definitely, I would say, Europe and APAC in general are very heavy on the channel and kind of how that's leveraged. So I think we'll probably learn the most from those regions. So I think that's definitely, if there's an area, I think that the EMEA focus group could really help with is maybe start getting some discussions around that channel, and at some point get a representative from the channel into the focus group.
Yep. And I mean, we have the first few channels as members, so the whole campaign is picking up. So I think it's probably a good idea to get somebody on the team as well.
Yeah.
Just a question, it's Trevor here. On the channel side of things, a lot of times it's easier to kind of introduce things like this if you've got some value proposition to offer them beyond what you're trying to, I hate to use the word sell, but you know what I mean. Does TSANet offer or do any kind of award schemes? Is there like
yeah, I would say that's a good thing, and that did come up in the last strategy session. And what kind of the feedback was, and again, I think this is an area we need to have more discussion on. But one of the pieces of feedback we got was, if we do awards, it should be more at the individual and not the company, because the view was, people move around to different companies, and if you have rewarded them as an individual, they'll take that then on to the next place that they work. So I think for awards and stuff, that maybe where we're going to be having the discussion. But the other area we've started to talk to existing vendors on, and that is, and there's one, I'm not going to share with you the company names and stuff because they're not ready to announce this yet, but there's a situation or scenarios where you have a market solution that's put together by vendor A and vendor B and maybe even vendor C, and the thought process is to bring those solutions together, create a custom group, and then create a concept of an authorized reseller or service provider for this solution, right? Which then means they're an authorized channel provider for all of these three things, and then that allows them to go to their customers or market and say, hey, I'm an authorized provider of this particular solution that includes the following vendors. So they're trying to get that to be maybe more of a business value for the channel.
So when you say authorized, you mean authorized by who? By
basically that trio of vendors, right? So a lot of how it is today is like, hey, I'm an authorized Cisco person, I'm an authorized this person, I'm an authorized that person. But if there's a solution that's put together by 3 or more vendors, it kind of, how should I put it, it reinforces that theme of this solution provider or reseller not only provide support on these point products, they do the multi-vendor support, and they have the backing of those 3 vendors in the form of authorized to support and sell this particular solution.
Yeah, okay. But where does TSANet fall in that mix, though? What role is it playing?
Yeah, so basically view TSANet as kind of the vendor neutral aspect. So it's very difficult to imagine that happening without a single vendor being the initiator of that. Does that make sense? In other words, yeah, if there was a solution that was based on, let me just say Cisco and Microsoft, usually it's Cisco or Microsoft, someone would have to take the lead to make that happen. And in this case, TSANet's kind of playing that vendor neutral entity that's allowing those 3 vendors to come together and then use the TSANet platform to do that without it being only a Cisco solution or only a Microsoft solution.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense. So basically kind of leverage, and I would say the key that we're kind of leverage on there, to be honest with you, is the success we've had with custom groups in 2015. So 2015, if I look back at where did we really get some gains and have a lot of wins, it was with custom groups. I mean, we probably doubled the quantity of our custom groups. We probably got another 50 to 100 limited members. So we're really starting to get some momentum there, and we're really starting to now to see some members that are saying, hey, let's really use these custom groups for other things. And channels are really starting to...
And I would also say it's not just the quantity of custom groups, but it's how they were used. And I would say that what we were very pleased about was they were used in a lot more strategic areas, such as what Paul was talking about, where there's a customer solution centered around a set of products from multiple vendors.
Yeah, and I think where I see, again, you're probably following a question of the value of TSANet and what does TSANet do. Once we accomplish that first one, now what we have is expertise on doing that, right? And we can help other groups of vendors or members accomplish the same thing, right? So, and I would say custom groups have kind of been that a little bit for 2015 as well, right? TSANet playing more of a consulting role on, hey, you want to get your partner programs to be a bit more efficient. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? We know how to do that because we've done that with other vendors now.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Does this answer your question, Trevor?
Yeah. I mean, the award one, I think is still an interesting one to explore further. But I think TSIA does an industry award, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And I think that that the companies that are interested in getting that kind of recognition would be both channel partners, but also just generally vendors and hardware and software. So it would be introducing something like that could bring more attention because they want the award. They'll explore the offer further, and through that, you get word out there at an industry level.
Yeah, I agree. Now, one thing we've been exploring a little bit with the channel, and I don't know how strong they are in Europe, but CompTIA. So CompTIA certainly in the U.S. is like, this is the organization that exists to help the channel, right, and help the channel to vendor collaboration and training. They kind of do all of that type of stuff, and we have been working with them to try to figure out where can we partner and do some different things, and they do have this concept. It's not really an award, it's those, they call it a badge, right? It's basically like a certification, right? And they have that both for the individual and the company, and definitely the channel seems to leverage that quite a bit, right?
Yeah. I can also tell you, Trevor, historically we used to do that as far as having awards, and you're right, it's actually very successful in that you get a lot of companies because they want to strive to get that attention and that award, and we had a lot of good press around it. We used to give these awards away when we had on-site annual member meetings, where the problem that we ran into was setting the criteria for it. And pretty soon it turned into, well, Dennis is the one that's picking this, and that's not the way to do it. So if we do something like that, I think the benefits to it, you're exactly right on track. It's making sure that we got the structure behind it to do it right.
To do it, yep. Okay, so we will follow up on this, and probably it's a good thing to discuss this once in a while. And if somebody has a great idea, to contribute to this topic and have an idea, vendor A and vendor B and channel partner, we could collaborate in this respect of a certain solution. Then you're highly welcome to bring it forward, and we can utilize the network to discuss this and establish a custom group for that.
Yep.
Okay. Any other comment? Okay, so if not, Paul, thank you very much for the presentation and the insight, and I think we will look at your chart once in a while and see how it goes as far as the goals are concerned, and I hope and wish that this group will contribute and have if you have ideas, and you will bring you in getting this out to you partners, that TSANet exists and that it's now available to channel partners. You're not just highly welcome to do that, and I've received from 2 of our members invitations to come to their partner meetings last year already. If you think F5 has a partner meeting, and if you invite us by phone or in person or any other attendee here, feel free to do that. Okay, then let's switch gears to our second topic, workshop March 2016. This is, I think, 6 weeks ahead of us, so it's not far away. And Alex and I have, let's say, worked the last 2 months, 3 months on the agenda and the theme of this upcoming workshop. And we are proposing 3 major changes versus the 2 workshops which we had before. Number 1 is that we, in the past 2 workshops, we were looking more in, exchanging experiences people have made by implementing a new support organization. What were the roadblocks? How they solve problems, etc., etc. And we shared those information and learned from each other. And I think it was very valuable for all of us in the room. For the coming workshop, we are looking a little more into the future, what is coming ahead of us, what is changing, and how does this impact support organizations, and what can we do to cope with that changes and even utilize it to provide better service. And I will somehow talk a little bit more about it just in a minute. The second change is that we want to do this more interactive. So in the past we had presentations and discussions, and the next presentation, discussions, etc. And we want to do this more in depth to exchange information. So we will just, let's say, talk briefly about a topic and then sit together either as a whole group, or we're going to divide in 2 groups and discuss topics, discuss issues, discuss possible solutions, exchange what people are already doing in certain respect, and therefore learn from each other. And the third topic is the timing. Since we have experienced the last 2 meetings that it was really difficult to get all this done in 1 day, we are proposing to do this in 1.5 days. The proposal is to meet on March the 9th and then have the first part of the workshop, then and meet again the second day and in the evening of the second day on March the 10th. So having said this, I would like to hear, maybe after we showed you the discussions, what you think about the whole package, and if you have proposals what we should do in addition, or should we do differently, then feel free to tell it to us.
Rainer, this is Rob. I hope you can hear me well, because I'm already in the car.
Yes,
I may have
we can hear
missed the location actually at the beginning of the conversation. Can you tell again where the location is going to be?
You have not missed the location, because I haven't said it. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I haven't said it, so you haven't missed it. So let's say, since you are asking this, and I can. Rob, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here now. Now I can hear you again.
Okay, so I said you haven't missed it because I haven't said it. So.
Okay.
So,
but is it unknown yet? Or,
I will no, it's not unknown. I will reveal it in a minute. It's going to be
okay.
yeah, but I can say it since you're asking. It's the HP facility in Ratingen, close to Düsseldorf.
Okay, very good. That is not
one
too
of
far
our
away.
Yes, one of our founding members, volunteered, or we had some discussions about it, and finally decided or agreed to host this event. And one of the reasons why we picked it is a very nice location. I know the location. I mean, they are really beautiful, and they are very experienced in having events like this. And we just had to overcome some logistical things because it's also a customer center, so they are inviting customers for sales and technical sessions, so we had to work around a little bit from the timing, but finally Alex and with the help in the background from Ted, we fixed everything, and so I could tell you it's HP in Ratingen. It's very close to the Netherlands. This was one of the reasons why it was perspective by that, so you can easily reach it, as well as there are two airports close by, Cologne and Düsseldorf, and both are reachable from the UK via EasyJet and other airlines, so it should be good for everyone.
Okay, sounds very good, and thanks to HP for facilitating.
Yes.
That's really cool. Okay,
yes.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to know. The rest sounds very good, topics and all that. I think that's great, and yeah, I think we probably need the half day more time to get through it all. So that's good.
Okay.
I'll be logging off in about 10 minutes or so. Then I've reached my destination. I will simply hang up, and you may hear the beep, but then I'm out of here. Sorry about that, guys. Something popped up earlier this week, which I couldn't foresee, so that's the reason why I have to shorten the meeting a little bit on my end.
Okay, Rob, thank you very much for attending anyway, and I think if you stay on for another 10 minutes, you probably get the idea from Alex and me, what are the individual topics. Dennis is recording this, so you can listen to it if you like to the end of the...
very good, yeah. I'll listen to the latter part then, thank you.
Okay. And feel free anytime to call me.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll catch up before the meeting anyway. So looking forward to see you in Ratingen then.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now let me come back.
Rainer?
Yes?
Just a quick question, and what are the dates again? It says March, but...
Yeah, it's March 9
do we have
to 10. You will get this all in writing if you like. If you just wait another 2 minutes, then you see this all in front of you on the PC, and you can.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Let me just make a very short introduction. Then Alex can take over. Then you see the dates, you see the content of the meeting, and you can all put in your proposals and ideas into the meeting. One reason why we changed a little bit the scope of the meeting was a lot of major changes are going on in the IT industry, and I wouldn't say even in the IT, in the total business area we are experiencing. Some people call it digital revolution. I prefer digital transformation, but what's going on is dramatically changing how customers and companies are interacting and doing business. And this is influenced mainly by five IT trends, I would say, or 5 trends it's happening. And we will show you that it's cloud computing, big data, IoT, mobility, etc. And this is also influencing how technical support is done and what our customers want from us in the future. And this basically is the theme of the meeting, calling, how to enable customer success with tomorrow's tech support technologies. And Alex and I, we have went through those topics, what's happening in the industry, and how that could influence tech support, and which could give us also opportunities to do our support better and easier and more convenient for our customers. And therefore, I hand the word over to Alex, and he will get you through the topics that we are proposing to discuss on March 9th to 10th in Ratingen.
All right, thanks, Rainer. Hi, everybody. So this is, as Rainer said, we want to, I'm sorry, we want to have like an outlook and a conversation on how we are preparing for what's coming, what we see in the industry, what trends are there. It's less about getting the information of what will come, in the industry. So we will flash it to have one context, but it's not supposed to be an info session from our point of view. So what we would like to have is like an exchange on how we are preparing in three main areas. First of all, from a technology perspective, how do we respond to what's happening in the areas of cloud computing, of cloud products? What does it mean for our support ability, our capabilities that we have in our support organization? But also, how is new technologies like big data changing the way we work internally? So, for example, when I look at predictive analytics and all that good stuff that's coming out of using all the data that we're generating, how do we see opportunities in mobile support, or how do we prepare for the ever-increasing requirements from customers to look into infrastructure support and automating infrastructure support? So so this is one big area when it comes to the actual technology developments and what do they mean to us and our abilities to support and what requirements come out of the customers to us. So that's the first area. The second area is when it comes to our support structure itself. So which means, do we need to change the composition of the teams? Do we need to change the way we make people ready for tomorrow's, customer experience that we want to provide? Does it have an impact on how we create capabilities and capacities in our organization? Does it have requirements in terms of our structure? Do we need to restructure what our organizations or the way our support works? But also, what we offer today to the customer in our portfolio, is this what will be sufficient tomorrow? So is this what will have people come to us to get their support? So only two topics of when we look at what tomorrow's support could look like. And then the third area would be, okay, what is the customer perspective tomorrow? So what do customers expect from a tech support organization or tech support service offering, maybe even today, so they're prepared tomorrow. So there are several interesting topics that we already came up with, but in the end of the day, we basically structured it in a way that everyone in this group can basically add topics to it, and this is what we actually are looking for. So we are proposing, topics that we find interesting, Rainer and I, I believe where we can contribute also with context and kind of have a couple of stories to tell you and to share. But we would also be looking for, inputs out of this group to kind of fill in more topics, so we can then, like last time, engage into like a triage or selection process where we say, okay, those will be the topics that we want to workshop over the days. Because, and that's basically sums it up, we really would like to kind of have a workshop experience with this topic, because we both believe that this is a very good moment to have this conversation around what's coming, because this is like this big wave, and everyone is trying to figure, okay, are we ahead of the wave? Are we on top of the wave? Or maybe are we looking at the wave from, in front of us, which is like the least desirable position. But that's why we believe it's the right time to have this conversation, because so many things are changing, and many of us, myself, I definitely am very involved in transforming. Like the last couple of months, this is what I do all day. We're working on transforming stuff, and I personally would like to see how is this going, across the industry. But I would also like to share what we're experiencing in the moment and how we're trying to be prepared to help our customers tomorrow be successful in their business and what they do. I'm going to stop here because that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, this was perfect, Alex. Good introduction into the subject. So I would like to hand it over or to the team and say, look, number one, what is your feedback regarding the total theme of the conference or the workshop, and then how do you feel right away about the topics? Is this something which is on your to-do list very high, and you like to say, yes, we have to prepare, and I need this discussion? Or are there other topics, other items you want us to add into it, and then have another discussion? We cannot cover everything in detail, so we need, again, like we did last time, to structure the whole thing and probably come up with 3 or 4 detailed topics that will give us 3-4 hour discussion and presentations. So anyone who will want to comment the whole thing?
Would you be able to send out? I'm just going to say, would you be able to send out a draft after this call of the ideas you've got so far, and maybe we can have a round of comment by email?
Yes, sure. I mean, sure, you have, but first of all, what is your first reaction regarding the whole topic of the workshop? Is this would you say, yeah, okay, this is where I'm going, and this is what concerns me or goes through my mind? How do I prepare about those changes that are going on? Is this the topic you want to have us to discuss?
It's Klaus speaking.
Hi, Klaus.
Actually, your topics, I think it's on the agenda of almost all members here in the group. I really appreciate the agenda. I'm looking forward to discuss in a workshop-wide style the topics Alex mentioned. So I'm really going for.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think the topic sounds meaningful. I think everyone's got to have some relationship to what's happening in the cloud. Yeah, I think it's a good choice.
Okay. I mean, this is not fixed in concrete. I mean, whenever, like I said, and Alex said, if there are additional topics you want us to add, then let's just put it on the list. I would, like I did last time, I would send it out to all of you and also to the people who are not on the call, and ask for feedback, and then based on the response, then we would select 3 or 4 topics that we put focus on.
Looks like, Kana, it's all connected, so it will be hard to pick. But Alex, this is Martin speaking. Just a quick question. So I guess that this would be something similar as you did last time with in Berlin, so you would talk about what you're already doing in HP, right? So,
or what we plan to, but that's actually Martin, that's not the format that we had so much in mind. So it's less of like single people talking and presenting. So at least this is what we were discussing with Rainer. It's more like the roundtable type of exchanging experiences or practices or
right.
thoughts around this. So a more like not like a one-directional stream of information, rather than like a more facilitated sharing. Because I think and this is what was one of the major points that intrigued Rainer and myself. This is not something where anyone is far ahead, or had accumulated a lot of experience already, because this is coming. This is like very sizable and significant changes coming up, and partially already have arrived. And so everyone is somehow, as Klaus just said, everybody is somehow in this process. So, and that's why I believe it's very, very interesting and very fruitful just to share, the different points of views and the different experiences that we already start to make. But I don't think that there could be somebody right now saying, okay, this is how it's going to work, and this is like the best practice, and this is like our, like a very conclusive, sharing. So it's for me, this is something where I would look forward to, just to hear, okay, where is everybody else in this process as we go, not like from a position of having concluded any of those, because I don't think that we are there. At least we are not, from HP's point of view. And it's a journey, and I think that's why I said it's a good point in time where we can just share, okay, how do we see this journey, where are we, what do we see, any inhibitors, and I'm sure everyone sees, and they might be different, it might be worthwhile to share. So coming from there, this is what we imagined, having like a 1.5 day kind of sharing session, however supported by a structured agenda, based on certain areas and certain points that we already agreed that we want to cover. So we have opportunities to kind of think about it and prepare. So one example that was coming out of the last session, where we said, okay, tomorrow's support probably will more and more, at least for some parts of our business, will need to have good processes or good systems to cope with all the baggage that comes with acquisitions, because this is something that more and more becomes a standard procedure. There are the startups, and they come up with a good idea, and then there's like a mature company or just a bigger company that buys those startups to kind of have broader reach or better distribution system or whatever. But all the baggage, like the offices, like all this stuff that comes with the acquisition of the product, of the technology, you need to have a system to deal with it, and there's differences. And this was an idea that's coming from Rob. I find very intriguing, very relevant, and this is one of the things that more and more are changing also the way we organize ourselves, and this is something that I think is worthwhile to share. So this type of things that are coming with the developments of the industry, I think those are very interesting topics that we can fill even more than 1.5 days with.
Yep. True.
Right. Yeah. Okay, well, so it definitely makes sense to do it a little bit more roundtable than one way, so I agree.
Yep.
It sounds interesting.
Yep. And I mean, and everyone is highly welcome to say, look, I have a topic like mobile support. We already started with one product, to support it, and this is how we did it, and this is what worked, and this didn't work, etc. So we're really looking to the group to share what they do, what they are doing, or what they are planning to do in regard to those topics. And then I'm pretty sure that we will have a very fruitful and very active discussion when everybody brings in, their experience and background that we have around the table. Okay. Good. Any other comment?
Rainer,
Okay.
sir, I've got to drop off. I've got an external interview I'm conducting now, so I need to.
Okay. Just three more things. Number one, I gotta send up out this chart, so you can take a look and give me a feedback. Number two, I need from you your confirmation of attendance, so we can definitely plan the size of the conference rooms, etc. And number three, we need to know who is staying overnight, so we can do some hotel pre-reservation. Because there are two very nice hotels close to the HP facility, and I would like you to get you into these two hotels because it's walking distance, and this makes the whole logistic easier. So so I will put this in a nice email, send it out to you, and looking forward to get your timely response to it.
Okay, excellent.
All right, perfect.
Thanks, Rainer.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for your attendance, and I look forward to see you all in Ratingen on March the 9th.
All right.
All right.
Thank
you.
Bye.
Thanks,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.